The small town of Monticello, Utah was used to quiet nights and close-knit communities. But on April 18, 1992, that peace was shattered by a horrific act of violence that turned a joyous occasion into a nightmare. Manuel Saldana, a 36-year-old man known for his warm heart and hard-working spirit, was preparing for what should have been the happiest day of his life, his wedding to Emily Rodriguez. Friends and family had gathered in Manuel's home for a modest ceremony. Though it was late, excitement filled the air. Emily and Manuel had been in love for years, and despite some recent complications with Emily's ex-boyfriend, they were finally ready to say, "I do." The house was decorated with simple flowers, a few balloons, and the promise of a shared future. As guests mingled in anticipation of the ceremony, the front door suddenly opened. Eusebio Torres, Emily's ex-boyfriend, stepped inside. He hadn't been invited. In fact, he and Emily had broken up over a year ago, but Torres had never truly accepted it. His presence brought a hush to the room. Eyes darted around in confusion and unease. Emily's face paled as she saw him walk forward, calm, but tense. According to witnesses, Torres didn't raise his voice at first. He asked to speak with Emily. She refused. Manuel, protective and aware of Torres's volatile past, told him to leave. What followed was a heated exchange, shouts echoing through the small house. Suddenly, Torres pulled out a .22 caliber rifle he had hidden under his coat. In a matter of seconds, the night turned violent. He raised the rifle and fired a single shot into Manuel's head, killing him instantly. Screams filled the room. Chaos erupted. Manuel's brother, Jose Saldana, tried to intervene but was shot twice, once in the shoulder and once in the back. As Emily attempted to flee into a bedroom, Torres fired again through the door. A bullet grazed her arm. The killer didn't stay. He ran into the night, rifle in hand, while those left behind desperately tried to save Manuel and Jose. Emergency services arrived quickly, but there was nothing they could do for Manuel. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Jose was rushed to a hospital and would eventually survive his injuries. Police issued an alert and began searching for Torres immediately. By early morning, they found him in his small apartment just a few miles away. He was alone and dead. He had turned the gun on himself, ending his life in what police concluded was a murder-suicide. The man who couldn't let go had destroyed 3 lives in a single hour. Investigators would later learn that Torres had become increasingly erratic in the weeks leading up to the shooting. He had allegedly stalked Emily, called her repeatedly, and even threatened her in passing. Though she had distanced herself completely from him, Torres could not accept the reality of their breakup, especially not her decision to marry someone else. For Torres, the wedding symbolized a final loss of control. His motive, authorities believe, was jealousy and rage. The Saldana family, devastated and heartbroken, tried to make sense of what had happened. Emily, suffering from physical wounds and unimaginable grief, disappeared from the public eye. She would later say in a brief interview that the memory of that night haunted her for years. "He didn't just kill Manuel," she said. "He killed everything we had been building." No trial was ever held. Torres' death meant no justice system intervention, no official sentencing, and no chance for the family to face him in court. But police closed the case with confidence. It was a premeditated murder followed by suicide. The weapon was recovered at the scene. Ballistics matched. Witnesses had seen everything unfold. More than 30 years later, the memory of that night still lingers in the minds of those who knew Manuel Saldana. He is remembered as a kind man with big dreams, taken away on the very night he was supposed to begin a new chapter in life. The story of his murder serves as a grim reminder of the dangers of unchecked obsession and how love, when twisted by anger, can lead to tragedy.